Well, the spirits will be high tonight as people celebrate the 4th of July, and not just any independence, this country's 250th. But in many cases, plans for fireworks across the state are being scrapped or delayed because of all the wildfires burning right now. Now, some places, on the other hand, are choosing to keep their fireworks shows, and that is raising concerns for people who live nearby. Thank you so much for joining us at 5 p.m. I'm Shalima Maharaj. The storms we are tracking right now won't help firefighters, but we are seeing a change in the weather pattern, and that should help them forge ahead in the fight. Turning to a live look outside right now, it has been an absolutely beautiful day to celebrate with friends, family, and to get some fresh air on this 4th of July. And that heat, it's going to stick around this week. Right now, we are joined by meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen, and we have been talking all about it. I mean, it's been beautiful outside, but again, we're dealing with all these conditions across the state. Yeah, but at least today, we get a break in the fire weather. First day in 8 days that we did not have any fire weather warnings across the state of Colorado, but the underlying conditions, yeah, that's concerning. Very dry, very warm across the state. The only difference is today we have a little bit of humidity and a little bit lighter winds. We did make it to 90 degrees officially at Denver International Airport today. That's our 14th 90-degree day of the season. On average, we get about 45 of them, so we've still got a long way to go as far as the heat is concerned. We've got some thunderstorms marching across the area. This stuff out on the eastern plains, all fairly tame at the moment. The hail has been very small, wind gusts in the 40 to 50 mile per hour range. The only concerning storm that we have is a severe storm just going into Pueblo County right now. Here is the area right here near Beulah where the Aspen Acres fire is. Thunderstorms are very concerning for firefighters. 60 mile per hour wind gusts coming out of this storm right here. If it was any closer, they'd be pulling all the firefighter crews off the line because those gusty winds can come in any direction. Very concerning. Here's your day in Denver on Sunday, getting up to 90 degrees again, breaking over likely up to 93 degrees is our forecast. Lots of sunshine early on. Clouds do arrive in the afternoon, but we're not really concerned about any storms tomorrow. That will kick back up as the week goes on. Look at these temperatures across the area. Lots of 90s on the board, some 70s and 80s in the high country. I'll talk about the fire conditions that may come ahead and also some thunderstorms that lie ahead in the week. I'll talk about that in the full forecast. Just a few minutes. All right, thanks so much for that, Corey. Well, the Aspen Acres fire has already uprooted the lives of thousands of people, and among them is a veteran of the United States Air Force. Colonel Lauren Pearson and his wife Ann evacuated from their home on Wednesday and are now in Pueblo with their caretaker. Medals, awards, and photographs from Colonel Pearson's long career with the United States Air Force had to be left behind when they evacuated.
I have hopes that it's going to survive, but it doesn't look like it's going to.
This is our forever home. We built it that way. We wanted to retire here.
Now, Colonel Pearson, who was born in Colorado, says they built their Hatchet Ranch home in 2010. Now, right now, the Aspen Acres fire is burning uncontained at more than 86,000 acres, making it the 8th largest wildfire in state history. Well, 15 California fire engines and 53 firefighters are on their way to Custer and Pueblo counties to help fight the Aspen Acres fire. California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom released a statement saying, in part, as Californians prepare to celebrate the 4th of July with family and friends, our firefighters are bravely heading to help our neighbors in Colorado. That's the American spirit and who we are. The crews are expected to stay here for 2 weeks. Well, some good news in Mesa County. Crews now have the Snyder fire 95% contained. It is now mapped at more than 30,000 acres. And tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, a memorial will be held for the 3 firefighters who died battling that fire. The memorial will be streamed live on our 9 News app. Well, because of how hot and dry it's been, dozens of communities have called off their 4th of July fireworks. And that's not the case, though, for a handful of towns on the western slope. They are still going ahead with plans to light up the sky. They argue that a professional show may actually be the better and safer option. 9 News reporter Evan Krugel hones in on that debate for us and why some people don't think it's worth the risk.
As multiple fires continue to scorch the state, A handful of communities on the western slope are moving forward with fireworks.
A lot of people are pretty upset about that, including myself.
Kelly McGuire lives in Crested Butte, just north of Gunnison, where fireworks are scheduled tonight at Jorgensen Park.
Obviously, our state's on fire, and it's only getting worse. And it's like, why risk it?
And Kelly is not alone. A statement from Mayor Diego Plata on social media has now drawn dozens of comments from people asking the city to reconsider.
I absolutely show empathy towards everyone who has a bit of concern and fear and sees this as an irresponsible move. I would be beside myself if I didn't say that I too am struggling with the decision or the process of it all.
Mayor Plata says firefighters and emergency managers have told him they believe it's safe to move forward.
Hosting a city event that will bring people together and provide the fireworks display in a safe and effective manner is much preferred to the rogue personal fireworks that may go off if we don't do this.
He adds extra volunteer firefighters will be stationed at the park, but says the show could still get canceled if there's a nearby fire or if conditions change.
If conditions are not right, if our firefighter resources have to move or mobilize to a different location for an emergency, if wind picks up, cancellation is still on the table, and it will be until the moment of launch.
Kelly questions if the risk is worth the reward.
Everyone's very concerned, and having a fireworks show doesn't seem like that's going to be putting anyone at ease. Everyone's going to be on pins and needles if that does happen.
Mayor Plata says they'll continue monitoring conditions right up to launch and says the final decision won't be made until sunset tonight. In Denver, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
Now, Gunnison is joined by Meeker, Cortez, and Bayfield as the only remaining professional shows on the western slope. More than a dozen others have already been canceled. Well, over at Coors Field, the Rockies will host their second night of fireworks in honor of the 4th of July. This is what the show looked like last night. The show takes place after their game against the Giants. They are looking to keep the momentum going after a massive 15-3 victory last night. Well, we have a full list of where you can still find a fireworks display near you on our website. That's 9news.com, or you can text the word fireworks to the number on your screen, and we will text you back with a link to this story online. A Colorado State trooper is recovering after being hit by a driver overnight. It happened just before 1 a.m. The trooper was making a traffic stop on westbound I-70 near milepost 295, that's near Watkins. As the trooper pulled over one car, another one, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, hit him at a high rate of speed. Now, the trooper and 2 others went to the hospital to be checked out. The driver of the Jeep is a 47-year-old woman out of Byers. She was arrested on several charges, including DUI. The trooper has since been released from the hospital. His injuries are non-life-threatening. The other people involved have also been released from the hospital. They had minor injuries. Well, Parker town planners are giving the go-ahead for a unique restaurant to set up shop. Pick and Tap Co. is a restaurant that features food, indoor pickleball courts, and golf simulators, and the entire venue will be nearly 20,000 square feet. The site plan approval will stay valid for the next 15 months. Our partners at the Denver Business Journal report construction is expected to start soon. They haven't announced an opening date just yet.